Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a very special match exhibition presentation. On the left, we have Xavier Ruiz. On the right, we have Stephen Bonger from the Marketplace. And today, these gentlemen are competing to see who is the best, or let's say the real, Captain Basch von Ronsenburg of Dalmasca. For those of you who don't know, Xavier on the left, that Von is his favorite card, and there's that part in 12 where Von goes around pretending to be Captain Basch. So Xavier would shout that out a lot at tournaments, and I think King Puff on the right, Steven, beat him in the Cure series or something and claimed like, oh, well, I'm the real Captain Basch now. So now they're having a fun little tournament to determine who is actually the real one. Apparently this is a best of 3, but it is a 3-deck format. What that means is it works exactly like a 2-deck format, except you have 3 decks to pick from instead of 2. Same as 2-deck, you can't have any cards between any of the 3 decks. And like 2, you have to win with a different deck each time, but you don't have to use all 3. You just have to win with 2 of the 3. I guess that was designed to be like, oh, in case I see my opponent has something, I've got more options to deal with. Anyway, there's nothing really on the line here except for the title, which means you could argue everything is on the line here. And it looks like we're going to have a little tribal matchup. Xavier is running Sky Pirates. It seems like he already searched out Von. And looks like Steven is running Samurai. Is he putting out Tenzin? Yep. It's unfortunate he had to discard another Tenzin, because unless he's got something new in there isn't a way to get that back. Does it leave him with 1 in hand? Now, the good news is Sky Pirates has a Von, so if he's only got 1 in hand, he won't be able to cast Amaterasu, even if he has it in hand, so the Von won't get stopped, which is nice. And then we can just go ahead and curve out. This is probably the right move, getting Tenzin out right away too, though, because barring like a Typhon, you want him to start beating into the Sky Pirates before they get set up, because even with Amaterasu, it just depends, right? I've seen this matchup before. It was on stream for one of the Japanese Masters, I think it was. And again, if you can Amaterasu the Von, Samurai absolutely has a huge chance here. But if you don't, it's going to be hard to see how it can win, but maybe not. It has a lot of removal, too. It really depends, too, if we see our Balthier. If we don't see Balthier or Pinello to help protect them, keep their power high, Samurai might be able to run over it. So, there's Tenzin. Drew a card off of it. Xavier presumably is going to go into the Von. I'll be very surprised if he does something else. Yep. Looks like he actually had the Typhon in hand. No, he's going to do Shinryu. Oh, nice. So, yeah, he's like, why put it back into your deck when I can just break it outright? That's a great play. We will get back a Samurai, which is really nice, but, man, Tenzin did not last long. We keep the Von. We're set up for the next turn. And now this Shinryu is its own threat. So if this thing sticks around, it's going to either drain 7,000 power from any forwards he puts out, or potentially draw him 2 cards. If I'm Steven here, I'm definitely, assuming I can't kill this thing, I'm just going to curve out some more backups, take a turn, because that way if you reveal a forward, then it's only going to, it's basically not going to do anything. Yeah, he might get to draw 2 cards off of it, but if you can't kill it, there's no point putting a forward out, especially if it would die to it. All right, he opts to pass. And yeah, so we didn't reveal a forward, so Shinryu is going to get to draw 2 more cards. King Puff opted to just put down that Samurai backup, kept a nice full grip, which is good. And that worked out perfectly for Xavier, too, that he just, he didn't want to see the forward there. Ifrit will go ahead and hit it for 5,000, which, if we have like another Ifrit in hand, that could follow up. We could kill it. It's probably worth it to do that, especially if we have like Brynhilder. That'd be amazing. Here comes Von, presumably. No, Balthier first. Okay. I wonder if he's trying to bait out the potential Amaterasu. He's going to target Elza. So I draw a card. Yep, that's good. Elza will draw. Nice little bit of sequencing there to try to play around the Amaterasu, because now, if the Von comes out in a future turn, and he'll go ahead and pass after that, he can use the Balthier's effect to pump the Von, so that way it'll at least survive, even if it doesn't go out to get its forwards. Of course, we can always use kites for that as well. Man, Sky Pirates is sitting in a good spot here. I hate to lose a backup this early, but if King Puff has Susano or Philia, I think you absolutely want to see that here. Just clean this board up. All right, we pitched a Samurai, dulled 2 to play Blaze. Now we pitched a Roja to play Soul. We do have a Crystal, so we're going to try to bring in something, maybe an Ifrit Primal. Squall, yeah, I'm assuming Squall is able to attack. Since Elza's still in the field, Blaze had to have targeted Balthier and Shinryu, or, yeah. So now, assuming Squall can attack, which looks like he can, he'll actually completely board wipe him. Or are we casting Alexander? Oh, man. Good counter. What a counter from Xavier. How do you like that, Captain Basch? He says, I'm the Captain Basch. Yeah, that would have been a huge play. Squall would have gotten a point of damage. We would have completely wiped the board. Most unfortunate. So, maybe a way we could have potentially baited that out was just put the Squall out first. We probably would have had too many cards in hand. I don't know how many. If he was able to do it, so he'll get to draw 2 more cards off the Ifrit. If he was able to do it and have a low enough card count for Squall to have haste, he could have put the Squall out first, run in with the Squall. Maybe Xavier doesn't feel as like he has to Alexander it at that point, because he's like, well, I'll just lose the Elza. I won't block. Let it go through for a point of damage. And then main 2, follow up with the Blaze. Again, he could have still just Alexandered it, and maybe he would have, but without seeing the immediate, it's going to kill me somehow. But we might not have had that. We might have needed to get the Blaze down first to get our hand low enough, so I'm not 100% sure because I can't see what he does or doesn't have in hand. Both players usually keep it off screen. Either way, that was a pretty big punish on Xavier's part. That Squall basically accomplished nothing, nor did the Blaze. We didn't get anything out of that. We didn't get anything out of the 4 CP cards we played. Blaze at least gives us another backup, but Sky Pirates looks like it's about ready to take off. There's Vaughn. Gosh, he just threw that card down. Be nice to your cards. Foil full art, looking absolutely gorgeous. Vaughn, I'm sure if he has Amaterasu, he's just going to snap do it, but doesn't look like he does. So Vaughn will go ahead and get whatever we want. You could get Tomaj here. Fran. Fran's nice because we can hit the Soul for 3. Now that means even the Elza can trade with him, which is quite nice. And I think that's what you do. I think you say, assuming you're planning to attack, send Elza in first. That way, in case you hit an Ifrit burst, he can't just snipe her off. And yeah, let him block with the Soul if he wants to. Perfectly sequenced by Xavier. Perfectly sequenced. That's all it should be. He says, yep, I'll block with the Soul. Which is probably the right idea, too. Soul's already really done what he's going to do. There's an Ifrit. Yep. Honestly, you probably want to hit Shinryu. Yeah, because that's the card that's going to keep you going. Well, we'll get to search out Heian. That's nice. 3 bursts. Can't complain about that. And Vaughn came out. He cannot attack this turn. I think the only way I really see King Puff coming back into this is if Xavier doesn't have a follow-up Kites. And we can, again, board wipe, make him reset. But, I mean, Vaughn really isn't even the biggest problem right now. That Shinryu just, we're never going to have time to get out a 3-cost Cyan and be able to keep him going. Oh, that's right. We can give Von haste this turn. Yep. A little risky. If we hit another burst, we could lose Shinryu, but will we hit it? Nope. Or we just hit a Samurai and then we don't care. And 3 in hand pass. Yeah, we need a board wipe right now. I don't think we can afford to. I mean, any kind of damage works too. Excuse me for yawning. We can pop the Blaze on the Shinryu with any combined source of damage. And that'll get rid of it, but then we are dealing with just the Sky. Oh, it's only Sky Pirates at that point. I mean, one guy's playing Samurai and one guy's playing Vaughn. I think we know who the original Captain Basch von Ronsenburg or Dalmasca is. All right. We'll pitch a Shadow. That's a cool card to see. We will put out our 3-cost Cyan, and we will go search Tenzin. Unless there's like a Belias or some way to give us haste in this deck, I can't see them getting the chance to attack. And I almost feel like we have to commit the Tenzin. We have to do something. Because if we just pass with Cyan and Shinryu reveals a forward, the game just ends on the spot. And really, we've got the Fran back up too. So even if we like put out Tenzin, if we reveal a forward, Cyan dies, Tenzin goes to 2. We can either just kill it with the Fran, we can rush out any other Sky Pirate. Like, he's just got so many options. We have to get Shinryu off the board. All right, we will play Tenzin, reveal. Hey, there's a Luso in there. And a Delita. This is an interesting deck in Maro. So the good news is we've got so many Samurai that if somehow King Puff gets another turn and all these Samurai are still here, we can now wipe our opponent's board with that double Cyan cleave. Ooh, we reveal Amaterasu. So, we hate to let our opponent draw more cards, but I think we needed that. That at least gives us a chance. Now, it is dependent on what Xavier has in hand, but I think that puts him up to 7 in hand. So surely he's got something in there that will let him. But again, hey, if somehow he didn't, then King Puff is looking at a nice board wipe next turn. Here's Kukulane. Or no, are we casting Leviathan? Which means game over right then and there. Yep. Here comes the Leviathan. Just whoosh, tidal wave. Probably you bounce. I don't think it really matters because I think the game's just going to end here on the spot. But what's, obviously you send one of the backups back to his hand, probably just one of the Samurais, and then bounce Tenzin, probably kill the Cyan. Granted, he can just get the Cyan back with the 10. Yeah, so I don't know if that order matters as much. Or you could bounce the Cyan, kill the Tenzin. If we have enough Samurais, that standard unit guy would be quite nice. If we've got enough in the break zone. He grabs back a Roja, so presumably he doesn't. But again, without a burst or some kind of miracle play here, this game's just over. He can't kill anything with the Blaze. The Vaughn will just reactivate, and we can just dull 2 Sky Pirate backups to buff whatever by 2. Well, buff Balthier, which is the only threat. Amaterasu. Yeah. I don't see any way this one's not ending right here and now. Interceptor. And that is game. Xavier showing I am the Sky Pirate King. Absolutely. Pretty decisive game 1. Man, Tenzin just... I love Samurais, but that card just does not stick around these days. The last couple times I've seen it and I used it myself, it just dies or gets bounced or whatever instantly. It doesn't even get to attack anymore. And the good news is, like, it usually gets some value. Usually it'll get to its end of turn trigger. It'll get its exit value. So you can argue with that. He's technically still only costing you 2, so he doesn't feel bad to play. But man, I remember when that card would come out and just start swinging in over and over and over and over again. Not today. Not in Opus 16. So Xavier will take game 1. He has to switch decks now. King Puff has the option to keep decks or switch. Looks like he has switched as well. So we will see who will play what in game 2 right after this. All right, game 2. Looks like King Puff has moved on to a water deck. He actually pitched Sarah to put down Artemisian and mulligan 2 cards. I'm assuming he has another Sarah in hand. Opted not to play it. If he does, that'll be very surprising if he didn't have a Sarah and he willingly threw it away, unless he was just color locked and like absolutely wasn't able to, had no other options. I don't know anything else about this deck other than what I see right there. So maybe this is mono water. I don't know. We'll find out. The question is, what did Xavier switch to? Can't play Sky Pirates. I almost said Spy Pirates. Those dastardly Spy Pirates. Ooh, a Gudon. Gudon. I always hear that in the voice of, like, Dugong Pokemon. So he's at least on... Is this the Gilgamesh deck? I know he likes that card, so I wouldn't be surprised if this was a Gilgamesh deck. Yep, he's going to search a Brave Exvius forward. I have a feeling this might be and he searches out another Gudon. Huh. That's interesting. Always, that's kind of one of those, like, you don't want to have to pay a 4 for that backup, but hey, it does search you something out. All right, King Puff put out Fran on his turn. Looks like he passed. He pitched Boko, so okay, I know what we're on now. We're on Bart's Boko. And then on Xavier's turn, he actually just put out Sid Brevia FFBE. Really interesting tech choice here. In particular, I don't know if he had... Well, he threw out Whale, so he clearly had backups he could have gone into. But the nice thing is, if King Puff tries to do Bart's Boko, whatever he summons from the deck, I don't remember exactly the wording on Sid, but I'm pretty sure it means if anything comes in without paying for itself. So if anything comes in, I think he just nukes it for 9,000 immediately. So yeah, whatever they summon would instantly die. All right, on King Puff's turn, he cast Sildra, he searched out Bart's and Luna Freya, and then he opted to pass after that. Looks like Xavier pitched Kieran and one other thing, and we put out that awesome Shantoto. Get to reveal the top 5 cards. We get to add a Wind and an Earth card to our hand. Got some good choices there. Ooh, Hrelsvegar, one of my favorite characters from Heavensward. So, Shantoto or Gabranth has to be our only Earth card. Shantoto's not bad just because, you know, it's easy CP fodder. And do we want the Cecil or the Sin? I'm so greedy for the Cecil myself, but I don't know what else he's got in hand. Looks like we'll grab... Yep, so we'll grab Sin and Shantoto. I don't think this is the Gilgamesh deck I originally thought it was. Because it seems like it's just primarily Earth Wind. And then are we just going to pitch those right away? Nope. Pull them into hand. And Sid Brevia will go... I don't even know why he's called that. He's technically called Sid FFBE. Sworn 6 of the Palladia. Get rid of a Kites. This isn't Sky Pirates because it's Bart's Boko. Kites is probably in there. One, he's a 1-cost too. I think there is a 1-cost Vaughn that is in this deck too. And maybe it can flicker him or flicker for the Fran. I'm sure there's other stuff in there I can get or mess with. Ooh, a Maria. Maria. We just played a backup called Maria. And suddenly we found how wonderful 1,000 power can be. Maria, we just played a card named Maria. While we're counting down until our damage is above 3. Maria. Sorry, I just started going off there. Yeah, nice. So Maria is a generic anthem that will buff everything on the field by 1,000. I wonder why. I would be very curious to hear their design on that. So Maria is the only anthem of the original 6 that 1 costs 4 compared to everyone else's 3, and 2 just has a generic buff. It doesn't buff win forwards. Why did they put that in win specifically? I'd be curious to know what their reasoning behind that was. All right, looks like we paid 2 for Noctis, paid 2 for Bart's. Here comes Boko and Luna Freya. Luna Freya is going to protect Noctis. 2K can't be chosen, and we are ready to do party things. We will get a Bart's trigger and a Noctis trigger. We could even party with the Luna Freya if we wanted. We could get all 3, and that way we could get 2 2 Noctis triggers. Oh, are we doing something in response? Hackathon Kyre. Yep. That'll do it. So probably Boko is the safest target. Yeah. Yep. So there goes the haste. So now they all just... And see, this is the one thing. Bart's Boko is such a cool little combo. And it's such a cool little deck, but it's just so easy for people to do that. That's true. Luna Freya can still go in by herself, so go ahead and hit. Hey, there's Japanese Prish. Man, I tried playing Bart's Boko at the start of Opus 15. I just got slaughtered with it. Because Noctis is such a cool card for it, too, but... As we just saw, it's just so easy. Any piece of removal gets rid of Boko. And that just slows the whole down. Now, the nice thing is he's still set up pretty well for the next turn. If we don't get Bart's or Noctis off the field, we can do some pretty awesome things. So the question is, do we have something to help clear it? Oh, are we doing Spine Shatter Dive 0? Oh, I love this special. So he will choose a forward. He will deal it 10,000 damage. And then the owner of that forward will take a point of damage into their damage zone. That's pretty sweet. Oh, we've got Big Von in here. Very interesting. So it's almost like a Bart's Boko Sky Pirates mix. Huh. Sid just putting the spear down. Very nice. So we got rid of the Barts. Obviously, we're still going to have Noctis triggers to deal with. We can just party here if we want. We can freeze the Sid. We can deal at 10,000 or 8,000 damage. Whatever you'd prefer. All right, we opted to do 8,000 damage to the Sid. Definitely our best option there. Just get off the field. Hit a white mage back up into damage. And then we put our own little white mage out, which is nice. We can use that to prevent any damage-based board wipes. And seeing our opponent has Shantoto, we don't have to worry about that as far as a backup clear. We may have to worry about Titan, though. Yeah, that could be what's coming out here. That's the Brosca's theme. Titan's do-do. Titan just going to come in, Lord of Crags, break all these forwards. Unless he has a way to power buff them, which I don't know what he possibly would have to do that. Man, Xavier was just ready. He was like, yeah, no big deal. And yeah, so this white mage is meaningless now because it only prevents damage-based stuff. That is unfortunate. And yeah, this one's looking rough again for King Puff. Rough for Puff. Yeah, he can go ahead and crack the white mage, and if he wanted to, technically could prevent him from taking a point of damage if he had that many forwards, but he doesn't. Now, Xavier is low on cards, so if we could find a way to do something about this, that would be nice. With the Shantoto out, the Titan's already out now, so technically the only real clears we probably after that is a Hecaton Kyre. But man, it's just like, especially after two backups, Bart's Boko just struggles so much. And it's such a shame. It was like, that was one of the really cool things about Opus 12 was they really pushed all this party stuff with the Bart's Boko and the Mid and the Sid Previa and the Water Yuna. And it was really hot there for a moment. And then even in that Opus, like it started off really cool, but Cyan just, the Samurais kind of just turned it and, a little KFC, as Alex Hancock would say. And then beyond that, like they just didn't stand a chance after that. Too many easy disruptions. Go ahead and play Tomage, carve out a little bit. Good news is we're only on 2 damage. Unless we get Gudon down, I don't think we have to fear any more damage on Xavier's side. Here comes Titan for number 3. Problem is, too, though, yeah, there's Bobby Corwin. Oh, God, that card. You're a brave man for playing that, King Puff, because I think that card's absolute garbage. And usually Bart's Boko decks don't have a lot of EX bursts either, so I don't think he's going to get any help there. Whereas, Earthwind has everything. That Titan's at 10k right now, too, because of Maria. We will cast Sildra for the second time. Go get Bart's and Boko. Our deck's already getting kind of thin, and absolutely the right call here. You just... it doesn't really sound like a great strategy, but... unless he's got some tricks in there that I'm just not aware of, which is possible. I haven't seen the whole deck, but Bart's Boko as an idea, as a mechanic, it just does one thing, and so you just have to push it. He's used the Titan. You just got to hope that maybe he draws something bad here and he can't stop the Bart's Boko play next turn. You just because if he can, like, what else do you do? Then he just wins, because he just stops what your deck does, but you just got to hope that, maybe, let's try it one more time, see if he's got the answer, what are you going to do about it? If he doesn't, maybe we can claw our way back into this one. Titan will put Stiltskin on the damage zone for us. We're playing our second Maria now. We just put it in the break zone. Is this Gudon? No, this is 6. Kieran, oh boy. Yep, what are we going to get? Prish, that's a good one. Montleonis, that's a good one. Mid, that's a good one. Another Montleonis, that's a good one. And Gabranth, wow. Dude, the man hit... look at all the different costs that are clearly in this deck. And this man just hit 5 for 5. Take him to the casino. Diddly, 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 ding, 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 ding. Bing. 4 of a kind. Yeah, I like the Montleonis too. Gabrant's nice if there's something specific you want to search out, but with Kieran and Titan on the field, I don't think there's anything you're really too concerned with. Montleonis is just another big body to have to deal with. And again, like against even these forwards, what can Bart's Boko do? I really wonder if Bart's and Boko specifically, and this might sound crazy because they already have a lot of text on between the two of them, right? But it makes me wonder if when Bart's and Boko specifically party together, when those two specifically party with each other, that maybe they should have been unblockable. Because even if he parties, Xavier can just step any one of these 10Ks right in front of him, just go, okay, kill kill Boko, kill Bart's. You have to deal me damage to get the card draw, And again, I understand that, it was like, oh, well, if it's going off and it's aggro, that would be very strong, but there's just so many ways to interact with it and to stop it that, it's hard enough to assemble the pieces and get the combo going. It feels pretty bad that it can be stopped by a simple blocker, by someone who's saying, I'll step in front of you, so fool you. All right, we're going to put out an Atomos. And then pitch a Black Choke. We'll put out Noctis. That'll be our second cast. We'll reactivate 2 backups. Now we can pitch the Cecil to put out Bart's. And we get Boko out as well. That might have been our whole hand. I'm not sure. But assuming we don't have anything to get in the way, we are ready to party power. So Bart's and Boko can go in. Man, but see, here's the thing. So Noctis can push the Montleonis out of the way, right? Oh, okay, so if we have, I'm assuming we're running Ultros in here. So what we can do is we can go to combat, party Bart's Boko, Noctis Dull freezes, Mont out of the way, Ultros comes in, we send Kieran to the bottom of our opponent's deck. I think that's our best line, because after that it's just Titan. We've only got 2 in hand on Xavier's side, so it's very unlikely he has something. Yep, so we'll go to combat, Bart's Boko party attack. Because we really need this attack to go through. It's a shame if we had one more where we could give Noctis haste too, and then we could have Noctis going with the Ultros immediately. I'm assuming it's going to be Ultros. I don't know who it would be. Luna Freya, I guess, is nice because it protects the Noctis, but again, we need to push one of these. We need to push both these forwards out of the way. Otherwise, Xavier, I think 100% just steps Kieran or Mont, whoever he doesn't pick, in front of it. Well, he can't dull the Kieran. Steps it in front of it, and then just, boop, there goes that chance. No, it's White Mage. Are we not running Ultros? Oh, that is a missed opportunity. That's pretty much the best forward you can get off of Bart's Boko. Yeah, so what did we do with the Noctis trigger? We can't shoot Mont for 8. He'll just block it, or he'll nullify it. And it doesn't even matter. 8 isn't enough to kill either of them anyway. I can only assume he's not running Ultros, because I can't imagine a world where Ultros is an option there and he doesn't pick that card. Yep, so we did Dull Freeze the Mont. I mean, if I'm Xavier, I would 100% just step in front of this with Kieran. Kieran's already done its job. No, he's going to take the damage? Wow. That is surprising. Well, Boko will now get a draw card. Did we not draw off of the Boko? Did I miss that? Huh. Well, I guess if you're either I missed it or opponent or King Puff just didn't do it, in which case, yeah, all right, go ahead and let the damage through, because who cares if he doesn't draw a card off of it. It's possible I missed it. Maybe I looked away for a second. All right, we're going to cast Hecaton Kyre, it looks like. We can take out anyone we want. Take out... no, I don't think White Mage prevents this. If I'm not mistaken, because it's 2 forwards dealing like they're fighting each other. And I'm pretty sure White Mage only prevents summon and ability damage, which is same as like casting 5 CP Titan. Alright, Hecaton Kyre will fully resolve. Just getting rid of Bart's. Go to combat. Kieran's going to swing in, plop that Vaughn into damage. The Vaughn is very interesting. I wonder... Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of weird seeing... I've never seen a mix of Sky Pirates and... What's it called? Bart's Boko before. So in theory, you can pull the kites straight out of the deck with the Barts, which is quite nice. And it's immediately set up for Vaughn plays. Sets up for a lot of value that you're probably not used to having in Bart's Boko, but unfortunately, we never really got there. I mean, we're on 6 damage. It was our only attack this turn, but here comes Gabranth. Says, I'll just go ahead and search out whatever I want. I don't know what 5 costs are in here other than Titan, Kieran. Hrelsvager. That's a good one. And it is not looking good for old Bart's Boko here. With the other Bart's dead, it's just too easy. I mean, it's just easier and easier to remove forwards in any deck nowadays, let alone ones like this. So I would love to be surprised here, but we've got 2 blockers still. We don't have Barts to continue to fetch us value. If we had Ultros in our deck, and we could have pushed out the Kieran, and if we drew our card, maybe we did, maybe I missed that. Even so, though, again, that's the other thing, too, about Bart's Boko. This deck just doesn't play well from behind. It wants to be ahead. You really probably don't really even want many backups. Maybe Andoria, maybe, Celestia. We'll put out Kais. What is Kais? Does that let us look at our opponent's top card of their deck? Or our own top card? One of those two. It didn't look like he did that effect. But then we played Ochu. Atomos will give us full backups back. So that's nice. And the Ochu is a forward. It can help us. But see, the only problem here is, what do we do with all this backup CP? If we have Barts right now, that'd feel amazing. And then really go in. But yeah, we don't have anything to use this CP. We can use the... What we could do, we could crack the Fran. Wait, do we even have the wind to pay for it? If we've got a wind in hand, we can crack Fran. Shoot Kieran for 6. Noctis can then follow up for 8. And we've got the Atomos too to reactivate backups, but if we have nothing to spend it on, what does that matter? If we had that Chocobo summon or... Yeah, something. I mean, he's definitely trying to stabilize here, but we gotta keep having these Noctis triggers go off. You could do a triple party attack. You could do Boko, White Mage, Noctis. If you've got enough, you can have Fran completely kill the Kieran. Fran do 6, Noctis do 8, and then Dull Freeze the Gabranth. Make sure you get in the point of damage. Only thing is you're going to lose both your monsters the turn after. Unless you can play something else. Alright, we did go in for the triple party. Looks like we decided to deal 8,000 to Gabranth. I'm not sure what did we refreeze the Montleonis? Looks like we did. Yeah, I would say if I'm Xavier, I'd 100% just step in front of this with Kieran. He can legit kill two forwards. Do we have something we can do? We actually have a summon? Oh, we might. Chocobo. So we're going to bounce somebody. I don't know who that somebody is. Probably Boko. You want to keep the Noctis alive, but... if he does this, though, that means the attack doesn't even kill the Kieran. Because together they're 6 plus they're 12,000. So if he removes any one of these forwards, the Kieran survives. Yeah, we had the... I understand wanting to do the Chocobo. What he probably should have done... if he could have used the Chocobo on the Ochu. So... no, okay, so he decides not to use the Chocobo. Kieran will die. We do lose Noctis and Boko. Just leaves the White Mage by itself. That's most unfortunate. we're not going to get killed by just the Titan. They'll need another form of removal. I wonder what he could have done instead. What if we had Chocobo'd the Ochu? Get it back to our hand, draw a card. Now, the only problem is we only have one win backup, which is Fran. So we wouldn't necessarily be able to replay the Ochu unless we drew another win card, but maybe we draw something better. Or what we could have done that, Chocobo the Ochu back to hand. You're set up for Fran's trigger. You do the triple party, like we just said. You dull freeze. I think you just dull freeze Gabranth. You 8k the Kieran. Fran pings it as well. Boom. It dies. You get in for a point of damage. You draw a card off of Boko. You've still got all your forwards. You can make a Thomas a forward. Swing him in. If what you drew off a Chocobo was worth it, you can swing in the Atomos to reactivate well, I guess none of the other backups would have even been down at that point. All right, we did get a nice little defensive play out of that. Titan swung in, we blocked with the Ochu, and then Chocobo'd it back to our hand. So we prevented the point of damage, but also now get to replay it next turn. So he's holding on. King Puff is holding on tight. But he's the only issue is he keeps losing his crucial win cards, you know, the Bartz, the Boko, the Noctis. And he's so far behind on damage that, you know, Xavier can happily just keep pushing and pushing and pushing with these guys. Now, we do have 2 attackers to put our opponent to 5. If we have some kind of haste here, we could steal one. Granted, our opponent has all his backups up, but that doesn't necessarily mean he has something in hand. Stiltskin. Yep. We're going to go fetch out a 1 cost. If we play it, Atomos can give us back 2 backups. Fetched out Ochu. Yep. Ochu will reactivate 2 backups, as will Atomos, so we'll get all our entire backup line back. Hopefully we've got something to use on it. Bart's Boko here would be amazing if we had it, but we're still only on 1 win. Or no, we got the Stiltskin now. We've got 2 win backups. I don't know what's in his hand, though, or what his hand size is. Stiltkins gets us Black Choco, which is perfect. We have Bart's. Ochu, get us back. We got the CP. Now we're going to send the White Mage in. Oh. And Titan will just say, well, let's just go ahead and wrap up these shenanigans. There goes Black Chocobo. The Ochu can go in, or have both of them come down this turn. No, I think he replayed them both. I mean, the Atomos can go in, but we've already got max backups. I don't think we have anything to play with him at this point. He probably now needs to leave it as a blocker, because Montleonis and Titan are both coming back up. Oh, and it looks like we're casting something anyway. Back attack mid. Yeah, that'll do it. Just to have an extra attacker on the next turn. Oof. I mean, it's just like, it's an unwritten rule, right, of FFTCG, especially when you're behind and you're struggling to catch up That first point of damage, when you can finally swing back, it's going to be an EX burst. And, yeah, just no way around it. Your deck's going to be lower. You can't sit there and deck them out. Not with Bart's Boko, of all things. Ronsenburg! I don't remember all of his effects. I know when he enters, he can get back a character. He can like make your opponent skip their battle phase if he mills some cards off your deck or from your break zone or something. I don't even remember what his last effect is, so I don't know. But he's a big guy. He's gonna do something. We've got 3 attackers. We've got 3 blockers. So maybe we say our opponent skips their battle phase, or does he just get back a character? Yep, we'll just get back a character. And you just run in with everybody. Oh, do we have some removal? Is this another Kieran? Nope, Titan. Yep, even better. So Ronsenburg will take out one of the Ochus, which means this game, unless King Puff has something spectacular in his hand, this game's about to be over. because we have to block each one of these attacks, and we're going to have just enough attackers to get through. Well played by Xavier, putting that mid out on his opponent's turn, knowing I need all three to seal it out this turn. See, and this is one of those turns, too, though, like, even in the context of the game, even if King Puff could somehow survive this, how does he even come back into the game? Like, at that point, you're just playing not to lose, not necessarily to win. Aria, the last point of damage is an EX burst, just to taunt us, just to say, yep, what could have been. And it looks like, folks, we have a real Captain Basch von Ronsenburg of Dalmasca. And it is the original, the man, the myth, the legend, Xavier Ruiz. Xavier, well played, sir. You have certainly reclaimed your title. King Puff, tough luck. And, maybe he'll let you try to challenge for it again in the future, but he also might just keep that crown and hold on to it. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed watching this one as much as I've enjoyed bringing it to you. Feel free to leave any questions or comments, in the comments below. And as always, hope you're doing well. And until next time, take care.